All right, ChessNoter 2.0.1. Let's get started. So this new version of ChessNoter has got a handful of features and some bug fixes. I'd really like to thank all of the ChessNoter family for all your input. This application continues to get better because of the input that you give to me, and we keep adding these features not only for myself to use at tournament, but all the ChessNoter community to be able to use it. So it's pretty cool to see all this stuff coming together. So let's get started with all this. The first feature I've got is from Roman K. It's under user profile. Essentially on the user profile now, it's going to let you just go in and just edit specific fields. So if your rating changed, you can just go in there and change your rating. You had a really good tournament, so you picked up 300 points, which is not going to happen, but still, anyways, you could just go in there and update it and then submit it. And then essentially it'll show up on the very top under the profile that it updated. So we'll just go back in and change that rating. So again, it just shows the updated rating. So one of the next features we added was time input, and this is thanks to Patrick D. Essentially, this is going to allow you to input the time on the chess clock on the table during your match, so you can keep track of that time. So this is a feature actually, or a rule that United States Chess Federation has for electronic chess notation devices, that you can actually do this. We just never implemented it until Patrick asked for it. So up here at the very top, you're going to have a little bell with a plus symbol. And essentially, once you start notating, you'll basically be able to hit that bell and then put in the time on the chess clock. So it's basically broken down by hour, minute, and second. And then there's other features in here. This is all listed in the manual, but essentially that's your back button. This will clear everything on the screen. And then if you don't want to put in time, you can just hit cancel. And if you want to put in time, you hit OK. So example, I could put in like an hour 25. And if I was wrong, I could, back out. Or if I was wrong, I wanted to clear it all out, you could just hit the X and it clears all the time off. So we'll just do a hour 25 and then hit the OK button. So essentially at this point, it shows down here in the move list area, and it'll just list it here on just the move area in this area of the tournament page. So this also gets written to the PGN at the end as a comment inside the PGN, but it's not going to be shown anywhere. So like if you go to the move list, it's not going to show up on the move list. It'll just have the time that you took to make those moves, but it's not going to show up in there on the move list. So again, it's only going to show in the move area and here on the tournament screen. So another feature that we added, I believe it was Justin A requested this, was highlighting of the moves inside the move list. So basically now all the moves will highlight from one line to the next as you go with the tournament and stuff. So another feature that we added was, thanks to Doug D, was the ability for time forfeit. So essentially, if the clock falls for your opponent or yourself, you can just choose a time forfeit, and at that point, because the flag fell, excuse me, you can choose either white one or black one, and because it wouldn't be a draw. So essentially, at this point, you would just choose. It was a time forfeit in white one, and essentially, there's a new pop-up now that's coming up in the end of your tournament. Which will essentially let you know that the game is over and that you're sure that you want to end the game. This was crucial, and Mark K requested this because when you play a club game, if you just chose white one, black one, or a draw, it would just end the game instantly. It wouldn't let you know that it was ended correctly. So at least here, it's giving you a little pop-up to let you know, hey, this is what you chose. You chose white one. Are you sure you want to end the game? And you can hit OK. Because this is a U.S. chess game, it's requesting a signature. So we'll go ahead and put that in. So that's the big changes that we've made in the tournament section. We've added some new features also now in the review game, so we'll pop open that screen here in a second once this is done. So in the review games, one of the big things was listing the games from newest to oldest. And I almost want to say Roman. Excuse me, I'm having an issue with one of my lights. Let's take this thing out. All right, how to waste time during a video. So Roman K, I believe, asked for this, where it basically shows the newest to the oldest. You can also go in here and you can sort. Oh, excuse me. You can also go in here and sort oldest to newest if you really want to see your oldest game first. So again, the default sort now is newest to oldest. We've also added a feature to list the full name, first name and last name of all the players. This was a request by Justin A, I believe. Oh no, I'm sorry. Excuse me. It was Kurt. Kurt A requested that to the review game to list the full display name. And some of these I may be getting people's names wrong. There's just so many. There's so many requests from everybody, and I try to keep track of all this stuff in a list. And then after we get the new version built and tested, I write down this stuff on a piece of paper that's sitting next to me, and I try to remember whose is whose. So I may not be reading it always right. So one of the things that we did too is we shrunk the board and we moved it to the opposite side of the screen, just to allow for enough area to write a really, really long name. So if somebody had a really long first name and last name, it'll wrap and continue to wrap if it goes past the character limit. I don't remember what it was at, but I think it was like around 160 or 180 characters or something before it started wrapping for the first name and last name for both players. One of the other features that we added was search by player name. This is a request by Dmitry, so you can do a short search. So if I wanted to do a search for example, I have a game here with Joey and Hope, so I could do a search for Joe and then just Hop, and it would automatically move that game up to the top. So it's going to let you do multiple searches here for first name and last name and basically pull that search stuff up. Hopefully this is working the way Dmitry wanted it to work based on his request, but it's a better search feature now, so you can do short searches and easily find games that you're looking for based on name. So we'll go ahead and move out of here. Another feature that we added, was under the serial number. We've redesigned the serial number screen now, so it's a little more broken down, so it looks exactly like our website. So example, let me just do a quick QR scan here. So we'll go ahead and open up the website real fast. Oh, geez, open browser. Sorry. This is my wife's phone, so I don't know all her apps very well. But essentially at this point, it's going to list exactly the way that it is on ChessNoter. It'll have the product registered, the user, the US chess ID, the FIDE ID, the serial number, and then it's not going to list the QR code verification clearly, but at least this is now more in line with how the website is. So if you ever scan your QR code, it should pull up a web page. If it doesn't, reach out to us. They should all be accurate with all the right accurate information. So if a tournament director wants to look at the device and verify it, all this information should be identical. Let's see what else we did. In the backup and restore, when you do a backup now, it's actually backing up your profile information as well. So with version 2.0.0, when you did a backup of this, it was missing your profile information. So it would just back up all your game data, but it wouldn't have your profile information. So you'd have to go in and manually edit your profile. So it now does the profile when you do the restore. I think that is all I've got on the list that I'm seeing. Oh yeah, one other thing Dmitry asked for was on the review games on a club game. If you hold down and export, we remove the option for exporting out the PDF because there is no PDF on a club game, so it doesn't make sense to export a PDF if there is not one. So it's just doing the export of just the PGN only. So example, if you went to a club game and exported, you get the PGN, the PDF, and you can delete the game if you wanted to. So I think that's it for all the features that we've added in this version and bug fixes. So we hope you enjoy it, and thank you so much for being a ChessNoter customer and part of the ChessNoter family. And thank you, and have a good one.